saying LeBron is better than Michael Jordan?
I would pick LeBron James.
For years, Isiah Thomas has been one of the loudest voices challenging the classic Michael Jordan legacy. He hasn't just supported LeBron James, he's been pushing the idea that LeBron isn't just great. He might be the greatest the game has ever seen. Now, it seems Jordan may finally be done staying silent after years of hearing the talk. Reports suggest he has responded, and what's coming out could shake the entire GOAT debate in a major way. Everything picked up on January 8th, 2026, when Isiah Thomas appeared on FanDuel TV alongside Michelle Beadle, DeMarcus Cousins, and Chandler Parsons.
Considered to be the golden era. This is what I don't understand about your era, right? You guys are playing with arguably the greatest player to ever play. And excuse me when I say this, but y'all treat him like he ain't nothing.
What started as a calm discussion about different basketball eras quickly turned serious. By the time Thomas finished speaking, he delivered a statement so bold that it instantly sparked intense reactions across the basketball world. This wasn't just another opinion trying to grab headlines. Thomas openly questioned why so many players and fans still idolize Jordan while LeBron continues dominating in real time. Then came the line that made the room go quiet. Thomas suggested today's players are praising the man who gave them shoes. That comment wasn't random.
The greatest. Oh, Michael Jordan was the greatest. Nobody could ever be greater than Michael Jordan, right? Okay, and then you turn around, but in your era, LeBron James sitting there, he holding every single basketball record. I mean, every single one of them. And you're looking at a Kevin Durant and you're looking at a Steph Curry. But then when y'all say who the greatest, y'all talk about the guy that gave you some shoes. And
it was a direct reference to Jordan's massive partnership with Nike and the global power of the Jumpman brand. According to Thomas, Jordan's legacy isn't built only on championships or dominance on the court. He believes branding power, the Jumpman logo, and worldwide influence helped shape how greatness is judged. Michelle Beadle pushed back, arguing Jordan created an emotional connection that made millions fall in love with basketball. But Thomas didn't change his stance, he stayed firm and confident. And this perspective didn't appear overnight. Thomas has been building this argument for years.
He was wearing a Bulls jersey, Michael Jordan Bulls jersey. Okay. He said, hey, what are you doing? I'm in Chicago, this is my team. It's his nephew. He's not really understanding that the great Isiah Thomas plays in Detroit. We don't wear that. We wear this. But I'm from Chicago. I'm down with the Bull movement. Isiah was mad at that. Not to Michael personally. In his brain, every time I play against this dude, I'm gonna try to go off so my nephew sees. This is the jersey.
Back in 2013 on ESPN 1000, he stated that LeBron was likely the superior athlete. Bigger, faster, stronger. By 2018 on Get Up, he doubled down again, saying LeBron James was simply the better overall player. Over time, his reasoning evolved. First athletic ability, then longevity, then versatility, and now cultural influence.
You convinced me he wasn't an asshole.
Thomas is no longer just comparing stats. He's pointing at the impact of branding and corporate power shaping the GOAT conversation. History makes this even more personal.
National television, and you called me an asshole. And then you said you hate it. You said that on national television. Now, if you didn't mean it, get on national television and apologize for it. Now,
the rivalry between Michael Jordan and Isiah Thomas is one of the longest tensions the NBA has ever seen. This isn't some neutral voice offering a casual take. This is a Hall of Famer who battled Jordan during his rise, watched his dominance unfold, and saw how the narrative of the league began shifting around him. For Thomas, this debate has never been only about skill. It's about influence, respect, and who really controls the story of greatness.
Say that. Or if you put Dennis on him, who's going to put it? Dennis had to play too. Remember, we had to go through our AD transition.
What happened? But I know I didn't need the walk-on.
Well, I know it's all bullshit.
Now, with Jordan reportedly responding after years of silence, the clash between legacy, branding, and basketball truth is heating up again.
You called me an asshole. And then you said you hated me. You said that on national television. Now, if you didn't mean it, get on national television and apologize for it. Now, if you meant it, let it ride as it is.
When one of the most iconic athletes in sports history finally speaks, the entire world listens. What makes this situation even more intense is the timeline. These two legends last faced each other on the court in 1993. Yet more than 30 years later, the tension is still alive.
His family, not only did they socialize, hang out, but as I said, I had a little nephew that lived with me. There were several people in front of me. What happened? But I know I didn't lead the walk. We didn't do anything any different than the Celtics did, or the Lakers did, or anybody else did. After championship games, I don't remember teams going shaking hands. This is just me. Maybe I missed something.
The GOAT debate just became personal again. This wasn't just random rivalry talk that faded away. It became one of the most legendary clashes the NBA has ever witnessed. Surprisingly, it didn't begin with playoff battles, hard fouls, or media drama. The tension traces back to 1985, and here's the twist many fans never realized.
Point guard of all time is Magic Johnson, and right behind him is Isiah Thomas.
While still playing, Jordan denied the accusations that he blocked Isaiah's selection.
You want to attribute it to me, go ahead and be my guest. But it wasn't.
The first real clash between Isiah Thomas and Michael Jordan didn't even happen inside an NBA arena. The story actually began during the 1984 Olympic trials. At that time, USA Basketball still sent college players to compete in the Olympics. To prepare them, exhibition games were organized against NBA All-Stars. Intense warm-up matchups designed to remind young players who controlled the game. On paper, the matchup looked completely one-sided. The NBA squad featured proven superstars like Isiah Thomas, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and other elite veterans. The college team looked inexperienced. At least that's what most people believed. But that 1984 college roster was secretly loaded with future legends. Alongside Jordan were future Hall of Famers like Patrick Ewing and Chris Mullin, plus several players who would later build strong NBA careers. Still, very few believed the college team could seriously compete. Yes, the NBA players rotated minutes. Yes, they were not in peak condition after a long season, but professionals versus college athletes, the results seemed obvious. Then the games began, and everything flipped completely. Jordan and the college squad shocked everyone, dominating the NBA All-Stars with an incredible 8-0 record. Isiah Thomas played in 3 of those matchups, averaging 13 points. Jordan averaged 17, but statistics only tell part of the story. It was the way Jordan performed that truly captured attention. His explosiveness forced experienced veterans to pause mid-play just to watch how he moved. He looked faster, more explosive, completely fearless. That same college squad went on to win Olympic gold, destroying opponents by an average of 32 points per game. Just like that, the first chapter of one of basketball's most heated rivalries was already being written, long before the world realized what was coming. With Michael Jordan leading Team USA and scoring at 17 points per game, the warning signs were already flashing. Once Jordan entered the NBA, dominance showed up almost immediately. He dropped 37 points in only his 3rd career game. By just his 7th NBA appearance, he was already facing Isiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons, the team that would eventually shape both of their legacies. That first matchup didn't start smoothly for Jordan. Early foul trouble kept him scoreless the entire first half, but then everything flipped. Jordan erupted for 25. Second half points nearly stealing the game. Detroit still secured the win, but the message was loud and clear. This wasn't just another rookie trying to survive in the league, this was a future superstar sending a warning. Individually, Thomas had the stronger stat line that night with 35 points and 10 assists. A reminder Jordan wasn't king just yet. Thomas claimed his first win over Jordan in January 1985. But their next meeting planted something deeper, something personal that wouldn't fade. The 1985 NBA All-Star Game didn't just showcase elite talent, it quietly created battle lines. From that moment forward, the league suddenly felt too small for both of them. As their battles in the Eastern Conference grew more intense, Jordan became convinced of one thing. He believed Isiah Thomas had disrespected him. In Jordan's mind, everything traced back to that All-Star game. He felt Thomas was freezing him out, refusing to pass him the ball, even influencing others to do the same. To Jordan, it felt intentional, personal, like a silent message delivered in front of the entire basketball world. But perception and reality don't always match. The numbers tell a more balanced story. Jordan attempted 9 shots in 22 minutes, not unusually low. Adrian Dantley, the league's scoring champion at the time, attempted only 6 shots. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bernard King each attempted 10 shots in similar minutes. Statistically, there was no clear proof of sabotage, but feelings don't always follow statistics. Still, Jordan has always insisted the real tension didn't begin on the court. According to him, it started inside an elevator during All-Star Weekend. Jordan later explained he stepped into an elevator with Thomas on the way to a league meeting. He felt nervous, slightly intimidated, unsure how to act around established stars. So he kept it simple and respectful. He said, "Hello, how you doing?" Then silence followed. Jordan didn't want to sound arrogant. He didn't want to say the wrong thing before an important league meeting. But sometimes even quiet moments can leave loud impressions. And sometimes rivalries begin in the smallest, most unexpected interactions. He barely spoke, but after that weekend, the story somehow reached him. Isiah Thomas reportedly believed Jordan came off arrogant, like the rookie gave him the cold shoulder and already viewed himself above everyone else. Jordan has always insisted it was just an awkward misunderstanding, but there was another side to the story. According to people close to Thomas, Jordan arrived to All-Star workouts wearing Nike gear, something that didn't exactly align with league expectations at the time. From Thomas's perspective, the hype around Jordan didn't look like just talent. It looked like marketing, like the rookie was already building a global image bigger than the moment itself. Perception slowly turned into irritation, and the tension didn't take long to boil over. Their next matchup came quickly, and Jordan answered the only way he knew how. He dominated. Jordan exploded for 49 points, shooting 19 of 31 from the field, leading the Chicago Bulls to an overtime victory over Detroit. Later, he admitted openly, "It was a grudge game from my standpoint." The media reacted instantly. Headlines everywhere. Jordan gets revenge. The freeze-out storyline spread fast, and just like that, the rivalry officially gained momentum. 2 years later, Jordan turned up the heat even more. He dropped 61 points against Detroit in another intense overtime clash. Every regular season matchup between them started to feel personal. Every possession carried extra emotion. But when the pressure reached its highest point, the Pistons still had the final say. Jordan's first 3 playoff appearances resulted in only 1 total win against Detroit. Even when Chicago improved in 1988, the Pistons shut them down 4-1 in the second round. Then came the real frustration, 1989 and 1990. The Bulls reached the Eastern Conference Finals twice, and both times Detroit blocked their path. No matter how incredible Jordan performed, the Pistons remained the obstacle he couldn't overcome. Repeated losses slowly turned frustration into obsession. This wasn't about simple misunderstandings anymore. It became about control, respect, and proving dominance. And soon, the rivalry turned physical. Detroit Pistons didn't just try to guard Michael Jordan. They made every possession a battle. The Pistons introduced the infamous Jordan rules, a defensive strategy built on constant contact, hard fouls, and relentless pressure. The goal was simple: make every drive uncomfortable, every movement draining, every moment frustrating. And for a period of time, the plan worked. Publicly, Isiah Thomas continued praising Jordan, often calling him the best player in the world. But on the court, Detroit kept testing his limits. By 1991, momentum began shifting. Detroit had reached 3 straight NBA Finals, and the physical toll was starting to show. Meanwhile, the Chicago Bulls were rising fast. Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Horace Grant were entering their peak years. Stronger, faster, more united than ever. When the Bulls and Pistons met again in the Eastern Conference Finals, the results shocked many observers. Chicago dominated, winning the first 3 games convincingly. Before Game 4, Jordan grabbed headlines again. He called the Pistons undeserving champions and suggested the bad boys' style was damaging the game. Thomas fired back quickly, saying people will look back at this team and say we were one of the greatest. He should be classier than to talk like that. Detroit felt disrespected and came in highly motivated. But motivation wasn't enough this time. Chicago had clearly taken the next step. The Bulls completed the sweep. And then came the moment that defined the rivalry forever. As the final seconds of Game 4 ticked away, the Pistons walked off the court early. No handshakes, no congratulations. They left before the buzzer even sounded. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Fans were furious. Media coverage intensified instantly. The rivalry officially crossed the line from fierce competition into real bitterness. Chicago moved on to defeat the Los Angeles Lakers and secure their first NBA championship. Jordan had finally reached the top. Shortly after, another moment added even more tension to the story. Rod Thorne from the USA Basketball Selection Committee contacted Jordan with an invitation to join the legendary 1992 Dream Team. According to Dream Team by Jack McCallum, Jordan's reaction was immediate. Rod, I don't want to play if Isiah Thomas is on the team. Later recordings supported that version of events. In The Last Dance, Jordan admitted he strongly disliked Thomas, but denied directly controlling the final roster decision. Still, the timing raised major questions. Jordan accepted the invitation on September 21, 1991. Soon after, the official lineup was revealed. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Chris Mullin, Scottie Pippen, David Robinson, John Stockton. A lineup stacked with superstars, but Isiah Thomas was missing. The reaction across the basketball world was intense. Thomas had been an all-star nearly every season of his career and was widely viewed as one of the greatest point guards ever behind Magic Johnson. Yet when arguably the greatest team in basketball history was formed, his name wasn't included. Whether Jordan influenced the decision or not, the message felt clear. This rivalry didn't end on the hardwood. It followed them into legacy debates, into historical rankings, into every GOAT discussion that came after. From a basketball perspective, some argued the decision had logic. By 1991, Thomas remained elite, but was no longer at his absolute peak. Magic Johnson still controlled the spotlight, while John Stockton was dominating the league with assist titles and incredible efficiency. Still, the exclusion left a lasting mark on Thomas's legacy. Despite everything, Thomas remained respectful in public appearances. During the 1993 NBA Finals, while working as a broadcaster for NBC, he continued praising Jordan's performance and greatness. Even after years of tension, the rivalry never fully disappeared. Thomas retired in 1994, but the tension didn't fade away. Overall, Michael Jordan and Isiah Thomas faced each other 65 times. Thomas actually held the edge with a 36-29 overall record, including a 12-10 playoff advantage. For a while, the rivalry cooled down, resurfacing only occasionally as years passed. In 2004, Jordan reflected honestly on the past, saying there was some real hatred there. Former Bulls player Brad Sellers described the situation clearly. Thomas was Chicago's original star. Then Jordan arrived and took the spotlight completely. John. Sally later confirmed the same shift in power created lasting tension. By 2009, friction began appearing again, but everything intensified when The Last Dance documentary was released. Jordan revisited the Pistons' early walk-off moment and described it as pure disrespect. Several former players, including Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant, disagreed with that interpretation, but Thomas felt the impact most strongly. Thomas admitted he always knew the relationship was complicated, but he didn't realize Jordan disliked him on such a deep level. After the documentary aired, Thomas appeared on multiple shows requesting an apology. Around that same time, his stance shifted clearly. He stopped calling Jordan the greatest player ever and began consistently naming LeBron James as the true GOAT. During the NBA's 75th anniversary celebration in 2021, Thomas even ranked Jordan fourth among the best players he personally competed against. Since then, the distance between the two legends has remained obvious. Thomas publicly repaired his relationship with Magic Johnson, but with Jordan, reconciliation never happened. Jordan is known for holding on to personal rivalries. He hasn't spoken with Scottie Pippen in years and reportedly hasn't communicated with Charles Barkley for more than a decade. As Jordan once said himself, he takes things personally. And based on everything that has unfolded across the years, the rivalry between Michael Jordan and Isiah Thomas still feels unfinished. Some conflicts never truly disappear,